Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, The Girl, Let Her Go. I almost always forget that they start off these trials with a bang all the time. What is happening here? Shut up, come closer, and I kill her. So obviously we're looking at something from the past, very far in the past. Sorry, but you're not gonna get the chance. What is even happening here? And there's Phoenix, but I wonder if we know the people on the bridge. It kind of looked like Mia. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Name, Terry Falls. Charge, kidnapping, murder. Sentence, death penalty. Wow. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Hawthorne. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. That's so interesting to me as well, though. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey's first trial. Are we gonna get to see Mia's first trial? What's so interesting to me about Phoenix there is that him looking over that case with the music in the background, he still thinks so much about Mia. February 16, 9:24 a.m. District Court, defending lobby number 4. Yeah, but is that Hawthorne any relation to Dahlia Hawthorne? Because if so, I have a feeling we're in for some big shenanigans. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Oh my god. You are a big boy. You are a big boy. You have cannonball shoulders. Good morning, sir. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do none, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago and now a prison escape. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. That's all you can do. And the thing is, if this is her first case, or at least one of the earliest ones that she's had, this is a terrifying one to start off with. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Such again, they always have these interesting character details through the always crying. Through these different animations, but him biting on the ball and chain is very, very interesting. It's very interesting. Oh, sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. Somehow, I believe his eyes. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. Oh, man. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Is that Godot? Hi, Godot. Is that Godot, or is it Godot's dad? What's happening here? Or Godot, or it must be Godot. Does that mean we're gonna get an origin story to Godot as well? Man, I love when they go into the past, and especially in the first case when we got to do this, but the fact that we're going to get to see something on Godot as well is going to be great. I can't believe you're standing in front of me without your mask. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at this guy. By the way, your choice of outfits here, the color is much nicer to me. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. Oh, he did not change. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Oh, leave. Leave my sight right now. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Huh. That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? Armando. After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me. Wait! So, is Diego Armando... So that's Godot. We know this is Godot now. He was working with Mia? Which would make sense why no one would think that he had any... Which would make sense why he's so good in the court, but also at the same time he had no, no court cases under his belt. Because Godot didn't, but Diego did. No, you got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for his first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax, I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since the beginning of his law career. Are you serious? Are you serious? Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Let's stop calling me kitten. That'd be a good idea. Sharpen those claws of yours, it's go time. Be a nice idea to stop calling me kitten. Is this... A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and I heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Okay, so childlike voice. When we're thinking of how we're gonna do a voice for him, childlike voice. February 16th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Oh, we have Canadian judge? Are you serious?
Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh my god, don't even put a question. Take the question mark off the screen. Hello. It's been so long. How are you? It's so nice to see you. How are you doing? I don't even care that we don't even have the relationship at this point yet. Let's talk. Let's chat for a bit. Is your face in the court record yet? It's not there yet. Put your face in there. This is so great. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Oh, that felt good.
I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm EFA. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor.
So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age.
At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned himself much of a reputation yet. It's so weird to see him on this side, right? And that is Godot, right? There's no way that they would have this guy with the same hair, with the coffee cup, the tie, everything. It is Godot. Come on, Mia. You can't lose, not to someone younger than you. Edgeworth don't care. Edgeworth don't care at all.
Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row.
By the way, this voice I'm doing has nothing to do with the fact that he's apparently called Canadian Judge, okay? It's literally just the first thing I thought of when he was here. I have never... Actually, I didn't meet Canadians before. I used to do tour guiding and I met 2 Canadians. They were the nicest people I ever met. I know it's a stereotype of Canadians, but they were the 2 nicest people I ever met. They were really nice.
2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct?
Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On that day, the defendant escaped a policewoman. Defendant escaped a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten.
Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement.
Oh, okay. Let's listen. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. Oh, I think he's telling the truth. Like, I think that was a good statement. I think we should let him win. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Whoa. Not that, like, the age should matter too much, but still, though, like, a 14-year-old girl. Jesus.
A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted.
Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness testimony. Witness testimony? The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw the young victim into the river. So, like, we're not here to, like, prove or disprove that, because that's already been, like, convicted, right? Or he's already been convicted of that. What we're here for is to get him off this murder charge, if we can. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away.
That policewoman you just mentioned. That wouldn't be...
Exactly. The victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. By the way, it's so funny that both my nephews showed up on YouTube at the same time watching YouTube or whatever. It's like they clearly just woke up on the weekend. That was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. I'm so intrigued to see where this is going with the Hawthorne name, because they wouldn't just put it there for no reason.
The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind: to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. The truth is becoming clear to me now.
Huh?
Yes.
It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Well, if Edgeworth says so, I'm inclined to believe him. Oh, an objection already. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor.
Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice.
Oh! I'd say don't point that finger at me, but you can point that finger all you want, Edgeworth. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness.
I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Oh my god, you know he's young because he has a brighter coat. To be honest, guys, I don't remember how I voiced Edgeworth in the past. I really don't. But regardless, I'm just gonna wing it because I'm just really excited to see him back. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. But one thing I'm trying to do, and I'm sorry for derailing, but I'm trying to make them sound a bit younger, I suppose, because they are all very much younger, if that makes sense. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. Edgeworth doesn't need this many compliments, Gumshoe. Okay? I've already given him many. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional, otherwise I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it.
Now, detective, tell us about the incident.
Yes sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss.
That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself.
Yes sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under the Eagle River is the Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there on top of the bridge. After the stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at the police checkpoint and he was trying to make his getaway, sir. He was captured with the body? That is going to be so hard to prove otherwise that he's not the murderer. That's lethal. That is a lethal injection right there of like facts. Like how do we fight against that? Dusky Bridge map added to the court record.
Was the victim's blood found on the bridge?
The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. I guess that makes sense.
Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there.
Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you would be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you, wagging your finger at me as though I was some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony.
Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Oh, tea? You're referencing tea now? Here we go. Okay, I guess I thought this was gonna be like some flashback, but I guess this must be a full case. Interesting. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into a car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain.
Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge.
Naturally.
Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my Oh, it is coffee. Okay. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner here. You got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten.
I believe in you, Mia.
It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedures videos you stayed up all night last night watching. I mean, that's not a bad way of doing this, I suppose. Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. The younger voice is actually like, it's crazy easy on my voice. What the hell?
Everyone's young from now on.
This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls.
What? The defendant? The defendant called her?
Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about a phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top secret memo that she left in her desk. Confidential police materials written by the victim. Victim's note added to the court record. Wait, hold on a second. I want to see something now for a second, though. So he's 26 here. He's 20, 27, 23, 25. Wow, this is a young people's case. This is literally a young people's case.
According to this note, it seems that the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls.
Whose bright idea was to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of the verdict now. Listen up, never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. True. Hey, don't make that face at me. I just said that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. You don't know Edgeworth then. The cute face just magnifies his sneakiness. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. I guess we'll press this too, why not? A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why.
What do you mean by that?
If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne was arrested and handcuffed, Mr. Falls. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminals stuffed her body into the car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. So we have all this already, so... And that's where she's... I'm gonna press, like, I don't know what to... We don't have, like, a lot of evidence so far. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within an hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, don't move, we got you surrounded. That is great. Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. How did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Huh. If that's what happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on the desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. I wonder too. Like, is it personal? Is like an actual like personal situation here that like she wanted to sort this out herself? But then again, like she left a note on her desk, so like there is kind of this thing where it's like I want to like believe that like it's maybe just like this thing where like she acted on her emotions. But what if it is something personal? What if it is something that's more involved with this case than we think, or she's more involved in this case than we think? I mean, we'll have to see. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. The car trunk? Oh my lord. Mr. Falls had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else?
What? You mean the defendant drove his own car?
No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting in the red light.
Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves.
Well, you know, you can tell us if you want. Yeah, we have all day. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Oh my lord. That's like not... I don't know, that's not very nice. I don't know, that's not very nice seeing this. I don't know what I mean. I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of that, to be honest. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'm not saying that like, oh, they shouldn't show that. It's just like, it's just, you know, it's upsetting of us to see that type of stuff.
Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable.
Crime photo added to the court record. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. And like, I think why it disturbs me a bit more, and I think you guys might agree to this as well. I think a lot of people would agree with this as well. Is that like, it's kind of terrifying due to the fact that like, we've seen so many dead bodies in these games. We've seen so many people dead in these games. You know what I mean? But like, when they stuffed them into a trunk, that's like a whole different level, right? It's like, kind of like a desecration of the body almost, if you know what I mean. Even though like murder, I know, like I'm not saying the murder isn't the worst. It is of course the worst thing that you do in this situation. But it's like also at the same time, it's like taking it one step further, like adding insult to like complete injury, you know what I mean? For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Oh, shut up, Armando. We're talking about a woman here. Yeah, like what? How's that relevant at all? You can't tell from his photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm.
The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car?
Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do we see anything strange? Do you? Anyway, Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint set up at the base of the mountain. So that's the last statement here as well. I'm gonna press this as well. Even though it's like, I don't think it will do anything, but like at least it'll move us along. That certainly is some impressive police work.
Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run.
What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. and it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later, Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly, and it'll leave you more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not. Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. That's the thing, I'm looking through his testimony on the on the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to the Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls, and that's where she was brutally murdered. The criminal stuffed her body into the car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Do we see something? Is this the way they say this? Do we see something strange? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, do we see something even a tad bit strange about Miss Hawthorne being in here? Can we look at it without the text on it? We can. Okay, great. It's really weird, like, studying a body like this, but, like, we have to. I don't know. Like, we have, like, a... Like, I'm trying to, like, notice anything of importance here. I'm not quite sure. Miss Falls was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Yeah, but, like, I'm not quite sure. Oh, I'm not quite sure what it is, though. This is one of those times where it's like, it seems like a little bit strange. Like, what we could do... Wait, actually, we haven't looked at all the... We haven't actually got to look at the actual note itself. That's the thing. That's something I do sometimes by accident. I don't look at all the evidence. Falls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear the white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Dahlia. I mean, that's a big thing, right? Like, having Dahlia's name in this is huge. So what is Dahlia's place in this? Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Wear a white scarf for identification. Oh, wait, then... She's not wearing a scarf. Okay, let's see if we can do that then. Yeah, I do. I'm glad we read that, because that's one of the things, like, sometimes I do forget to read a lot. Like, I do read it at some point and we do eventually get it, but, like, I should start doing it, like, right away. Witness.
What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye?
I'm sorry. I totally forgot I was going to... What? This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. Oh, that's great. That's cool, though, right? We get to see her first ever objection.
You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this.
Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? No! Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer.
I believe in you, Mia.
Yes, ma'am.
This photo. You said there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim.
The note?
It very clearly says, wear a white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten the victim's what the victim looked like, thus this special request. I have a very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo.
Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am.
And you stopped there? You should have looked for it.
It's got, like, think about how, like sometimes incompetent Dick Gumshoe can be. Now think of, like, much younger Gumshoe as well.
The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this?
Oh, there he goes with his usual stuff.
I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you were searching so desperately for. Is it this one, perchance?
Where did you find that, sir?
On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
I made the decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know.
That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. You're saying a lot, right? That's you that's saying this?
It's not exactly white, as the caller requested. But as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for.
It looks like it spent some time in the mud.
Not surprising. It was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time.
The court will accept the scarf into evidence.
Worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found on Dusky Bridge. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished, embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, I would like to wrap my arms around him, scarf around him, and his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there.
That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kidden, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Events on Dusky Bridge.
Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir.
What a cool image. I know, like, it's preceding something that's gonna be very horrible. What an interesting image.
It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That's horrible! That must have been when the scarf fell off.
So we're gonna add that witness photo to the testimony as well.
Yeah, looking at this photo, you'll really get the sense that the bridge is very high up.
It is about 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below.
Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway?
Let's just say, it was a pretty well-intentioned third party.
Aha, potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom?
Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify.
That's like... I know that, like, you can refuse to testify in court, but I think, isn't there, like, some sort of, like, thing you can file to, like, force someone to testify? Like, if they're that involved with the case? I think you can, but, like, I think it takes a lot of work, but I think you can actually do that. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we have no reason to compel them to testify. I suppose that makes sense in a way. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Seems to have been taken by the witness. So as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge.
The truth is becoming clear to me now. Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty.
Not again, that's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. His face.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, Yeah, I like, Mia's actually pretty freaking cool, though. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place.
I'll press it. Why not? Let's press it.
Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. A female college student?
That's right, meaning she's a female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her.
Maybe so, but as the attorney for defense, I have the right to cross-examine her.
Uh-oh.
For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student.
A female college student, eh?
It means she's female and a college student, sir.
If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why.
Because she saw all of it happen.
Please tell us about the decisive evidence in question.
The photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what was going on.
I guess we'll press this as well. To be honest, like, I think with, like, pressing stuff, I don't know. I think with pressing stuff, it doesn't, I don't know. Yeah. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back.
Wait, hold on a second, though. I'm not trying to say that it couldn't happen, but if we look at the crime scene photo here, which we did get to have a look at it here, you're on a very narrow bridge. She would have to have turned her back for him to push her down, and I don't think a police detective would turn her back on a criminal like this, right? That would be one of the worst decisions you've ever made. How would he get from behind and push her down? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would he get behind and push her down? Yeah, that just doesn't make much sense to me. This evidence established that the defendant is lying, right?
Don't ask me to confirm your facts.
Sorry, this is my first handling a case. Well, it's... Oh, what? Are you serious? I thought that was definitely gonna be it. Okay, so that was a failure. I thought that, like, there was something to that, but maybe not. But we'll press this statement anyway. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well?
Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach.
I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal.
Brutal? Brutal? Are you talking about seeing someone getting pushed, or are you the one getting pushed? Or it doesn't mean that you pushed someone down like that once. With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Brutal. Is that what Canadians say, brutal?
Save your nasty look for the right person.
Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. What are you on about? Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh?
That must have been when the scarf fell off.
So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim.
That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am.
The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too, which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but... There's something about a testimony that's still bothering me.
Talk about a surprise, I had no idea there was a photo.
So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do.
So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh?
In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance.
Actually, as an eyewitness to the place, the photos taken it shows. It was drizzling that day and it's hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back.
See, I thought the reason why I presented the photo on this one is because I thought maybe like, oh, why would she turn around? I thought I was being a little bit smarter, but I guess I was wrong. You know, we're gonna be wrong. We're gonna be wrong a lot of times. It's gonna happen. I guess we'll, like, if we're looking at the only thing we can really see from this, like, this note is not gonna do anything with that. The scarf is worn by the victim found at the time of the incident on Dusky Bridge. A photo of the trunk of Fall's car. Like, I guess his name is a pun on like Falls, like, you know, like a waterfall. So we have this. We have that. And this are the three pieces of evidence that we can, like,
kind of like try and get something on this but is there anything in the testimony that we can get this on, like get those pieces of evidence into? That must have been when the scarf fell off. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. This photo was actually taken back by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. So the only other thing I could think of to say, and again, I'm probably wrong again, and here, okay, if we lose more points, that's fine. But in this photo here, she's laying on her back. If you stab someone in the back, would you really place them on their back as well? Unless like you took out the knife. I'm gonna present this anyway. I don't know if it's like gonna be good enough for it, but we'll try. Oh, the music stopped. I guess it is. So at the time of the crime, there's a light drizzle coming down, correct?
Yeah, and fog too, just a generally soggy atmosphere.
Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere.
But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk.
I did the wrong voice for the judge. Considering the conditions of the scene of the crime, something isn't right.
What? Can you tell me too?
Well, by all means, please enlighten us as what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? With the drizzling rain? Like, okay, so with the conditions that we're trying to, I guess, then to prove that she's wearing something that wouldn't be worn during drizzling rain. Right? I think that's what we're trying to prove. But like she's wearing a big, like a raincoat or something. Like, I guess it's not even like to me this wouldn't be like a raincoat. It's kind of just like a regular coat, right? So maybe it's the coat? Like, cause if you see this coat here, it only goes down to here. You know, like, your legs aren't really covered that day either. You know, it's not gonna be, I guess it's the coat. But also, if this is a raincoat as well, I guess you could also make the argument that, like, wouldn't it have been lashing rain then as well? Let's present the coat. Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there is nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? If I'm honest, guys, this case so far has been one of the cases that, like, one of the only cases I think that, like, coming up with stuff is, like, it's really nerve-wracking because I'm like, I feel like I know nothing. I feel like I know absolutely nothing because we didn't do any investigations beforehand, you know what I mean? It's like we're going into this just, like, on a whim. If you get what I'm saying. I know we did that before with some cases, but at the same time, it's kind of just like, you know, I feel like we knew a bit more with other cases as well. It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on the bridge. Oh, that's a way better idea, Mia. The front of her coat should have been covered in mud. Yes, because of the scarf. Mia, that's so smart. That's way smarter than what I had.
That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous play of beard was befouled.
Objection on the beard. I don't believe that. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. Your Honor, if Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard and pride of the league would be wet, but not muddy.
Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken.
Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? I can't believe we're looking at Edgeworth again. Young Edgeworth as well. Young, beautiful Edgeworth. The surface of the bridge, huh? Huh. A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like that. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves that the surface of the bridge is muddy. The scarf. Yes, that's good. That's way better. That's way better than what I thought. For sure. The evidence is the scarf. Ah, it should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Jesus, Edgeworth. Hey, same to you, buddy. Oh, you call okay. Edgeworth is our novice bimbo.
Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me.
I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation is in this case, maybe, shall we?
Alright. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here.
You're doing pretty well for a little kitten.
Mr. Armando?
No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence, it's one of those three.
What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that.
That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over there that said it.
This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know.
Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into the court.
I didn't know I wanted to see Godot versus Edgeworth, but I kind of do now.
But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam that it is.
Yes.
The false evidence in this case is... Oh my god, which is the false... Like, oh no. No. The body in the trunk. The witness's photo.
Oh, because here's the thing. The witness's photo can't be false
Because it's a photo. The body in the trunk can't be false because it was put there.
The witness's testimony, however, if it's who I think it is, a female college student who's too delicate to go to court.
There's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious.
During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen?
Yeah, that's what the witness told us.
That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all.
That's true.
It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in the case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called him in the first place.
True.
Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all.
You should brace yourself.
And that's what we'll do.
For the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court.
If this is who I think it is, this might be terrifying.
We are prepared to present our witness at any time.
Very well, please bring forward your witness at this time.
And that is where we're going to end the video here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video was kind of weird. This video was kind of weird for me. This whole thing, because again, we're in a whole different situation. We're in the past once again, but this case, like, we've spent so much time investigating and finding stuff out about the characters, and we don't really know anything about the person we're defending, while in the last few cases, we got to kind of know them at some stage or at some level. And we knew, even the first case, which we didn't get to do much investigation, we knew who Phoenix was beforehand as well. I think it's going to be a very weird case. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon.